why I think we need to grieve and we need to spend time looking at ourselves is because there's going to be a lot of emotional needs that we will be able to address more than we would in any other season, because that is the one thing that we can access, right? That is the things that we can talk about. That's the things that we have time now to process and engage those things. I mean, people are spending more time with their families, and so if they've got issue with their kids or issues with their spouse or issues with their mother or father, if they live together, those things are going to become heightened and more, and there's going to be more issues that arise because of having to be, at home all the time with those people.
As you're saying that, I think what comes to my mind is almost the way that when we're attentive to the logistical, the practical, the needs being met, which we need to be attentive to, right? I think that the church is in a place where we need to be stepping out and meeting people's needs, but there's almost a go mode that we can slip into. And I think what you're highlighting is when we're in that go mode, and we can jump into go mode whether or not we've dealt with our stuff, right? We can set that aside, flip into go mode. But when we're in go mode, when we're sitting with someone, talking with someone whose challenges are not the logistical go mode fix, but are the emotional, it's really hard to be present with someone if we're in a reactive place. And often go mode ends up being a reactive place, right? Like this, I'm responding, but there's a compulsion, there's an intensity to it. And it's really, really difficult to be not just in go mode, but in real present mode.
Right. It's get stuff done mode, not be present and minister, like really sit in presence. And so I'm gonna push back and say, I think that is a huge issue with pastors, including myself, is that we depend on our own sustainability. We depend on our own strengths when we go into that go mode versus when we sit in presence. Our stuff comes up, their stuff comes up, and the Holy Spirit is actually able to work inside of us. We're actually giving the Holy Spirit space and opportunity to rise up in us and rise up in others. So that's also the spiritual aspect of it as well.
That idea of I'm thinking when we're reactive, right? When something gets hit in me, fear, anxiety, uncertainty, and I'm reacting in that place, trying to fix things to calm my anxiety, to calm your anxiety. When I'm reactive, some of us react by taking control. Some of us react by backing away. Some of us react by trying harder. Some of us react by spinning and getting lost in our own heads. I think pastors are really gifted by performing in a reactive place. Like I'm unsettled. Let me just do my job better. But when we're reactive, we actually decrease our capacity to be both empathetic and creative.
Yes.
Right. I think that's what you're hitting on, is actually empathy, connection, as well as creativity. Both require space. Both require a slowing down to allow things to rise up. Right. The Holy Spirit needs space to be allowed to rise up, that we're not just blitzing past what that moment might actually need. Do you feel I'm tracking with that? What you're saying?
I mean, the Holy Spirit's always speaking to us, but it's whether we're paying attention. And so when we're in go mode, we're not paying attention. I mean, I work at Starbucks and we have a thing actually called go mode, and it's where you stop doing everything that helps build up the business and make connection better and just get stuff done. Like, let's get those drinks out. So, I mean, it's true in business. It's true in the church. It's true in families, right? Like there's days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get out the door. Okay, my baby's screaming, but like right? And so we all get into these reactive states because we feel like this is a crisis. I need to fix it right now. And this is a crisis. COVID-19 is a crisis, but let's stop freaking out. Let's calm down. Let's take a breath. And let's see what we can do. It is a time to go and a time to rest.
Because it isn't just about, I think, because this is, I think, what we're holding in tension is what our communities, what our cities, what our people need are not just the practical help but there's an incredible need for emotional support, for connection, for relationship,
Yes.
to be present with one another.
Right.
And that's something I feel like you're calling us to be attentive to.
Right. Well, I mean, so I was talking to one of my other friends. She's a youth pastor, and she was grocery shopping for her family yesterday. And she said that there's this woman asking for $1 because um, they needed to fix the tire on their car, but no one was wanting to talk to them or come close to her. And so she goes, all I have is $1, but can I pray with you? And so she started praying with her. And the emotional needs of this woman was met by this pastor. And this pastor, she was like, I was in Aldi and I just noticed that people don't even want to look at each other in the eye because they're just so fearful and scared. And so she goes, I was just trying to smile at people, and people were like, wait, someone's smiling at me? Like, this is okay?
Yeah.
And so I think that drew up and revealed even more that the fear is not just getting sick. The fear is actually um, it's drawing on disconnection even more. And so yeah, we have tons of opportunity to meet physical needs of, providing for the elderly. Like, you guys are pastors, you can, like, whoever's listening to this, you're gonna, the needs of your community. But I feel like we have a greater need for that emotional support, and people are not just needing it, but they're open to it because they're craving love, they're craving affection, because we're living in isolation on purpose.